Hey, check who came into my video here to see what's going on. Charlie's back there on the deck. I wanted to do a follow-up video to the cell phone here. So this is one of my favorite finds. This is up there. Not my very favorite find, but one of my favorite finds for sure. Nothing will top the sterling silver bracelet from World War II I returned after 70 years. I did return a ring after 49 years of it being lost. And I've helped some other people find rings, and I'm in the progress of actually helping more ring recoveries. So there's a lot of fun finds that I have, and nothing brings me more joy than getting stuff back to their owners. So this cell phone was amazing because it's the first cell phone that I found that actually worked coming out of the stream. I have maybe a half a dozen or so cell phones. They're always usually cracked, beat up, waterlogged, you know. So this one, I was extremely surprised that I was able to power it up, and you saw my prior videos. I'll maybe throw in a little clip here of that happening, because that actually was a pretty exciting moment. It was a lot of fun.
So there we go. Let's see the moment of truth here. All right, so I plugged this in, and would you look at that? That is a very good sign.
So what happened since I've gotten this thing powered up? I emailed the tubing company that was near to where I found this. I got 1 or 2 responses back. We couldn't narrow down an owner. I'm not sure if the owner ever let that company know they lost their phone or not, but they did say that they get those reports a lot. So we weren't able to track down that way. I took the phone to Verizon, and they popped the SIM card out, looked at it, and said, "This is an AT&T phone. You're going to have to go to AT&T." So I drove over to AT&T, and that store I went into pretty much said they couldn't help me. So I was optimistic after talking to Verizon that they would have been able to help me, but that first store I went to, they said they couldn't help me. So it didn't quite feel right. I did look on AT&T's site, and they said that you could drop recovered phones like this off in their store. It wasn't clear what they were going to do with them. I didn't want it to end up, you know, in a back shelf somewhere or being resold, or, you know, I'm sure they wouldn't have done that. But and that AT&T store I went to, they did say you should just take it to the police. And I certainly would have done that as a last alternative. However, I was worried that all that would have happened there was, again, it would have sat on some shelf somewhere, maybe for, I don't know how long the police keep it. Maybe they would have given it back to me after so long without it being, you know, recovered, and I would have still ended up with the phone. And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have done much to actually try to get it back to the owner. So I didn't want to take it to the police just yet. I wanted to, you know, just try my best to get this back. So I went to a second AT&T store. I actually called another store in the meantime there, and they said, yeah, they couldn't tell me whose phone it was, but they could help get it back to them. So I took it to a second AT&T store, and maybe just the people that were on their shift at that point, they didn't seem to want to help me too much. Again, they told me to just take it to the police. So I went to a third AT&T store and met a really nice person. I took a picture of him, so I'll show you a picture of this great guy who helped me out. He was super friendly. I mean, everybody I encountered was friendly. I think they just weren't sure how they could be helping me. So finally, this man I worked with, he ended up calling his manager, who was home that day, and they talked for a little bit, and they realized, yeah, if they pop the SIM card out, there's some identifying, you know, code on there or a number on there that they could look up who owned it, and they could then call that person. And that's exactly what they did, you know. And I told them, you know, I don't need this person's contact information. You know, if you could contact them, obviously they're your customer, contact them and just let them know we found it. I mean, certainly they would want to know that. And so he called, turns out it was a woman. He called her, and thankfully she answered, and he spoke to her a little bit and then said, you know, I have the guy here with your phone. Do you just want to talk with him? And so, yeah, we talked for a couple minutes. I was super excited that it finally worked out. And I got her address, and this was a couple days ago over the weekend, so I just haven't been able to get to the post office, but I'm going to get this packaged up and sent out to her. I'm going to include some stickers from Stories of the Single, and also, I wrote this letter. I'll hold it up here for a second if you want to pause and see what I'm writing in there. I don't have her information on there, but certainly by all means you can pause it. But basically just saying, I'm not looking for any money. I just, really liked the story that I got out of this, and was telling her about some of the other stories of things that I've recovered and returned to people. And, asking, of course, that she subscribe to my channel and check out some of my videos and pass the good word on about Stories from the Signal. But I couldn't be happier about the outcome here, and am super glad to have getting this back to them. These phones, I think brand new, are like $1,000, maybe a little more. I did look. I was super curious. Not at all was I intending to sell this phone, but I did look at, a used phone like this can run upwards of $650, $700. So I'm glad that we'll get this back to her, that she's not out that money. So I would imagine she'll resell it, and recoup some of that money that she spent on her new phone. And the other thing that may have happened, not sure about this, but it's possible that there's some stuff on here, videos, photos, stuff that maybe didn't make it to the cloud. I don't know what kind of backup that she has, but it's possible there's some stuff on here. Maybe some photos or videos of her out tubing that very day that she lost it, that maybe never made it to the cloud. So hopefully she'll be able to retrieve all that. And yeah, I'm just grateful that we have a happy story a happy ending to this story. And thanks so much for watching. And I hope to find a lot more things. A little teaser is I am actively with some of my friends looking for a lost engagement ring that's been lost for 5 years. I've made 2 attempts at it, and it's a very tricky spot. So I am very optimistic that in the next couple of weeks I'm going to have another really cool story like this where we've found something and got it returned back to the owner. So keep watching for that, and certainly like and subscribe. Thanks.